In the first 3 months of this year, the RCMP intercepted more than 5,000 refugee claimants. Today, the government said there were about 2,500 more in April alone. Of those 7,500 asylum seekers, most came in from the U.S. at the Roxham Road crossing in Quebec. And with the warming weather, an average of 70 to 80 people are now arriving each day. So how to deal with all those people? As Catherine Cullen tells us, the Trudeau government says it has a plan.
Those who cross in violation of the rules are immediately arrested.
Their words were intended to reassure, but the fact 3 cabinet ministers came to town with props, no less.
As this chart clearly demonstrates, all asylum claimants undergo the same process.
Well, that suggests concern. The number of asylum seekers is up even compared to last year.
They must prove that they need Canada's protection to keep them safe.
Something it seems the vast majority of claimants can't prove.
90%.
Around 90% of some groups are being rejected, the government says. But a new figure shows fewer than 1% have been removed from Canada. According to the government's own numbers, more than 26,000 people came to Canada by illegally crossing the border over the span of a year. Just 243 of them have been removed. Why so few?
There are very important issues of due process that have to be met.
Right now, it takes an average of about 2.5 years for officials to decide on an asylum seeker's case.
It's a whole sequence of events that need to be accelerated. That's why we put more money into the system.
The Conservatives have suggested changing the rules to bar people from simply walking across the border and claiming asylum, something the Liberals call impractical.
We're not even at the point right now where we can actually start talking about how to support the tens of thousands of people who have come into the country by this means. That is a completely different conversation. But for me, how are we ever going to talk about that if the problem only gets worse?
The government is scheduled to remove 200 more failed asylum claimants in the next couple of weeks. At the same time, it's planning to set up temporary shelters at Quebec's Roxham Road, anticipating even more illegal crossings. Catherine Cullen, CBC News, Ottawa.